Hey everybody, this is Brandy with Smoky Mountain Stamping, and I'm having little technical difficulties in my craft room tonight, so y'all are gonna have to bear with me. It's a little crazy in here tonight. Things are dropping all over the floor. Every time I touch something, I drop it, so there's no telling what's gonna happen tonight, but we're going to go for it anyway. We're gonna have fun. So, hey Ina, good to see you. So anyway, I hope everybody's having a good evening. We're going to make a few Christmas gift packages, and I posted a picture of a Christmas gift card holder, and so that's going to be the first thing that we make. And if you hang out to the end, I will share a really fun new use for our Stampin' Blends markers. And so I'm going to, this is going to be another one of those, see if you can guess the new use for the Stampin' Blends marker, because I have a feeling nobody will guess it. I think it's going to be fun. So I'll probably keep reminding people about that during the Facebook Live. But anyway, so lots of fun things going on with Stampin' Up! Right now. We have a sneak peek into the January to June mini catalog. It's called Eden's Garden, and reach over here. Here is a card that I made with this stamp set in the designer series paper. The paper all uses, it's just two colors. It's the Evening Evergreen and Soft Succulent. And hey, Ginger. And then there's lots of gold foil accents on one side of all the papers, and then on the other side it's just plain. And I'm going to grab those real quick. I forgot to bring them over here. I can show you those, and grab some other paper while I'm here, just because I probably will want to play with it. But so here is some of this Eden's Garden paper, and so you can get a sneak peek. You can purchase it now before the new catalog comes out and before it goes viral and gets popular. I think maybe those were, I just showed you, I can't remember. I'm trying to make sure I get the, here's some of the back sides. So the back sides are really nice. They're not overbearing, so they'll be a really good background for different things. Look at that foil. So pretty. This one's really pretty too. The foil is very subtle. It's hard to, it's just got some little tiny gold dots on there. And then there's that one. Very pretty. So that's the Eden's Garden. It also has, and that paper is 12 by 12. So I've just got it cut down. Let me see. So here is the stamp set. So it's got Dear Friend. I forgot to turn on my Do Not Disturb, so hopefully nobody's going to bother me. I hope not. Anyway, so it's got Hello Dear Friend, How Are You? Sending hugs, hello there. And then My Heart is Tied to Yours, tug if you need anything. And then Let's Celebrate Everything. And then there are some coordinating dies. Here are the dies. So some really pretty floral flip frames. This would make a really pretty border with this one. I haven't started using the dies yet. And then there are some absolutely gorgeous gems that are in this suite. And so they are really pretty. I've only used a couple of them. I've been very, very careful in using them so far. So, all right, so we got that. So that's going on right now. You can purchase that. I have put a link to the current host code on this post, and then I'll make sure it's there in the comments and easy to find for the current host code. Let's see, what else are we gonna do? Oh, there is, starting on November 4th, there is a fantastic opportunity for anybody. If you've ever thought about joining Stampin' Up! just for the discount. You don't have to, I mean, you can do it as a business, obviously. But if you're interested in joining Stampin' Up! To get the 20% discount starting on November 4th, there's going to be an opportunity. The starter kit is going to be $75. And you still get $125 worth of product. Normally it's $99, so that's a great deal. So $75 for the starter kit. You get all your business supplies still included in that, and you get free shipping, so that's an additional 10% savings. So if you have ever thought about it, now is a great time to do it. So, alrighty, I think we are ready. Now remember, if you're just joining in, I have got a new and unique use for these Stampin' Blends markers, and if you can guess, just throw your guesses in the comments, and at the very end I'm going to show you what this is, because it's a little bit embarrassing actually, but it's so handy, and I hope that other people will like it. I just think it's hysterical. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera down and get ready, and so hang on just a second while I get you flipped over here. Let's see, which way are we going? We're going this way. All right. And let me get my thing here. I hope you guys are getting excited for Christmas. I am. I am looking forward to making lots of Christmas treats this year. And, okay, Facebook is yelling at me. Okay, sorry about that. There just should be an easier way, but it just doesn't seem like there is. So I think this looks like we're in line here pretty good. I'm going to tape my paper down now so it hopefully won't wiggle around too much while we're stamping this evening. So I'd like to know what kind of Christmas treats that y'all give that you would like to see treat packaging for, because I would be happy to either find something, because a lot of people have already done it. Hey Susie, I haven't done anything yet. I just now turned the camera down. And we'll get started here in just a second. This is the gift card holder that we're going to make. And so I had on the post, the teaser post I had earlier today, or yesterday, last night, I encouraged people to guess what this might be made of. And if you guessed correctly, you're going to get, or the guessing is now over because I'm getting ready to show you. But if you guessed correctly, you are going to get a pack of our basic rhinestones, which I used right on here. And I had one person who messaged me her guess, and she was absolutely correct. So Crystal Markham, I don't think you're on here yet, but if you get on here and watch the replay, you got a pack of rhinestones coming. Congratulations. And so there's our card. And then I just did oh yay, Crystal, I'm glad you're watching. So then this is just a little kind of gift enclosure thing. So here it is. And that's what we're going to make. Now, to reveal what this is, can you see? It is a toilet paper tube. So that is how we're making this adorable little treat pouch, or a gift card holder. So it's a gift card. This absolutely would fit a Ghirardelli chocolate in here. So you could totally do that. So let's get started, and I'll show you how that is made. And let's see. Grab some paper, and I'm going to use, well, that's a little bit too much red. That's a lot of red. I think I don't want that much red. I think I'm going to use that. Now, y'all probably figured out by now that I have a little bit of a plan when I come on here, but I don't always have a big plan, because I am one of those kind of ADD crafters, and I just like to kind of fly by the seat of my pants a lot, and I think it's more fun. But I would love to be that person who always has a great plan. It's just not me. It's just not me. But that's okay. I've come to accept it. It's who I am. So what we're going to do first is we're going to take our toilet paper tube, and we are just going to take a bone folder and just flatten it as much as you can. Now, I'm not really going to have a ton of measurements for you on this because I have found that toilet paper tubes are different sizes. Who knew? I sure didn't. But what we're going to do is we're going to start with a 6x6 piece of paper. And let me see, I have my Stampin' seal here. So the way I did it was I just went ahead, and you can even just, I will say it is a little bit tricky to get this toilet paper tube to stay flat, but it's okay because it's going to be a pouchy type thing. So I just took my seal and put a few strips of it down the side, and I am going to just lay it a little farther than halfway, and I just kind of eyeball it to see if there's the same amount of space all the way down here. Because it's over the edges, and the reason why I did this is if you were to cut this down to the exact size of the toilet paper tube, then if you get just a little bit wonky on it, it's going to not cover the whole tube. So this way, you're kind of guaranteeing that you will be able to cover the whole tube. So I gotta be careful because I've got some seal down back here. Whoops, I did not mean to. I meant to put my silicone mat down and I didn't. So let me get that out. So silicone mat, I talked about this last week. It is a lifesaver because the adhesive will not stick to it. Okay, and so all you do is push this up against that edge of the toilet paper tube, press it, and then press it over. And then I take my bone folder and just go over it a little bit more, make sure it's pressed down really well. And I've got some, I'm going to put some more seal because I think a little bit of it may have come off. And then I'm going to run a little strip right there next to it. And I can just kind of eyeball the edges here to see where it needs to go. And then same thing, push that all the way up as tight as you can against the edge, fold it over, and then burnish it really good to get all of those air bubbles out. Make sure your paper stays in there really well. And there you go. Now I'm going to take a pair of scissors, and I just kind of folded it so I could feel where that, or see where that toilet paper tube is. Now another thing you could do is you could put this on your paper trimmer and trim it for sure. My phone is kind of in the way of where I need to see. There we go. So if you were really wanting to get a super straight line, I'm just trying to cut just along that edge of the toilet paper tube. And if it's not exactly right, it's okay, really. As I sit here and try to make it perfect, right? Okay, so that is the basis of our gift card holder. Now, the next thing I did was to take some liquid glue, which has this, oh, there it is. It escaped. Now you could put a piece of tear and tape in this, so you could tear it off and then just press it in there. It's a little hard to get the backing off of the tear and tape when you put it in here. You could also just take a stapler. I've done this before. This is our old Stampin' Up! Stapler, but you could just take a stapler and just put a little staple here in the bottom. Sorry, it's out of the picture here. And because you just want to close the bottom end. I took some of our liquid glue and just put a little in here, and just a little bit, because remember, a little goes a long way. Little dab will do you with this stuff. And then I had just two little of these clips, and so I just pressed this closed and then put these two little clips on here. So, and I'll just do that. This glue dries very quickly, and so it doesn't take a long time. And I think I'm going to use this little die. This is the frosted gingerbread. Now, this is the frosted gingerbread paper. And let's see. There are dies that go with that, but I don't remember if I got them or not. I don't think I did. I don't think I did. So I'm going to use This is the Hippo and Friends, and this has some really good, actually on this one, I used this middle die here, so you'll know which one. And it's perfect for this warm Christmas wishes. I love this stamp, and that is from the Encircled in Warmth stamp set right there. So that's a great one. Let's see. Okay, y'all, I just had that. There it is. Okay, I took the wrong one off. See, I am just so, I truly believe I have ADD. I was telling a friend of mine, she posted a checklist the other day of, like adults with not symptoms, but signs of adults with ADD. And I was like, yep, I checked all those boxes. And actually, I have even talked to my doctor about it because I just have a hard time staying focused sometimes. All right, so I'm gonna stamp this in Real Red, because I'm gonna also use this Real Red ruffled trim. This is also in our mini catalog. I love that trim. It is so pretty. So I keep a little container, and I always just try to share different things that I do that make my stamping easier. Maybe it'll make yours easier. But I keep a little container here that has my white scraps in it. And so that one's not going to fit. So I don't throw away a ton of stuff, so that's perfect. If it's real tiny pieces, I don't. But I have little bits and pieces in here so that if I need just a bit of piece or a small piece, I'm not going to have to cut an entire piece of cardstock just to get a little piece. So let me get a block. All right. So put that on here. And because I'm using photopolymer, I am also trying to be better about making sure that I use my Pierce mat, because you want just that little bit of cushion under your photopolymer stamps. And so I am trying, and it really does, since I've been doing it more consistently, it really does give you a better stamped image. And I'm just grabbing a little piece of our grid paper that goes on our Stamparatus, so I don't get ink all over that mat. So I've got my Real Red ink. And hey, Tara, good to see you on here. And Ginger, this is the Stampin' Pierce mat. It's not listed in the catalog, but you can order it. Oops, I grabbed the wrong stamp. Well, we're not sending peppermint kisses in this one. So let me clean that off. But you know, when you look at our red rubber stamps, you'll notice they have a cushion in them, and our photopolymer stamps do not. And so that little bit of cushion really helps get you a clearer image when you use it. And it really has made a difference for me. All right, so wishing you a Merry Christmas. Got my stamp chamois here to clean up. It looks like a mess, but it is perfectly fine. It will stain, but it rinses out, and as long as the water is running clear, you know you've got it clean. The ink stains will stay on there, but it will be clean. Okay, so let me trying to keep things closed up. Okay. Now I'm going to get my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine out. And so I've got this right here. And my plates were somewhere. Here they are. So I'm going to put down my number 1 plate, and then one of my clear plates. And then I'm going to put my sentiment down, and then my little tag. Let's see here. I think this is square. Now this one doesn't fit as well as the other one did, but I think it's going to be okay. Wishing you. It's really hard for me to see those, to get them straight sometimes, but that's good. And then we're going to hold our breath, put this down, and hope that it doesn't move. And I put my handle on the wrong side. Just run this through the die cutting machine. And because that was a little piece, I could use the mini. Oh, that's perfect. There we go. And let me put my die. I'm really upset because I've lost a die from one of my die sheets, and so I'm like, I've got to be better about putting these back in. I don't know if you guys are terrible about putting your dies or losing dies. So I have a little magnetic bowl that I keep meaning to break out and use, and then I forget. So let me bring this back in. So this is good and dry. So I just use these little clips to keep it dry, or keep it in place while the liquid glue is drying. So I'll get those out of the way. All right, and I'm keeping this one very simple. I'm not doing a ton of decorations to it. Now the one thing that I did on this one is I just cut a little notch right here, and I did that with one of our old circle punches. Now, we don't sell these anymore, which is crazy. I don't know why we don't sell circle punches anymore. You can grab these circle punches anywhere. It's just one of those tools that, you know, it's just handy to have. So I'm going to use it because it really is the best thing to use for this. I tried to do it a couple different ways, but this is just easier. So now I've got this just in here, tried to center it up, and it doesn't have to be a big notch. But I did try to do it through both layers at one time, and it won't go. The toilet paper, the cardboard is just too thick for it. But once you do one, then you can put it all in there, and then you can line that up, and so you know it's going to be straight. So there's that. So I will let you figure out how you want to do that. And okay, we need to make the card to go inside it. So let's do that. Now, let me show you how I did this because, again, toilet paper tubes are different sizes. So I can't really give you an exact measurement of what yours should be because it depends on what brand of toilet paper you buy. I buy Sam's toilet paper. So this is a Sam's toilet paper tube. Grab my trimmer out. And so all I did was, our grid paper has measurements on it. And so when it was flattened, let's see, where are the inches? When it was flattened, I just laid it down flat, and I could see. So I did about 2, and so that's 2.5. I probably did 2 3/8 for the card. And then I did the same thing for the length. So it is just a little more than 4 1/4. So I think I did 4 inches for that. So I'll bring my trimmer in. And I'm going to do 2 3/8 by 4 inches. Whoops, it's already 4 inches, so yay. And now I'm going to cut a piece of Whisper White cardstock the same. Ooh, this one's almost already there. That's good. So 2 3/8, and I'll show you why I'm doing this, because I am going to make it so that it has a little bit of a border. But when you're not sure, when you've got funny measurements, this is an easy way to, let's see, let me pull the card out. So we see how this has kind of a frame. Whoops, upside down. Right there. So all I did was I cut it to the exact same measurement as this, and then I'm going to slide it over here to this 1/4 inch mark, which means I'll have a 1/8 inch border all the way around. And I don't even have to think. I can just, it doesn't matter what size it is. It's going to give me that 1/8 inch border around. I don't have to think about, oh, is it 2 3/8, 4 3, you know, whatever. I don't have to do that. So now when I put it on here, it's perfect. So yay, that makes it so much easier. Okay. Now I am not going to spend a ton of time, although I just saw a stamp, so maybe I will. I like this one. This is a cute saying. It says, "You're the icing to my gingerbread." And I think that's pretty cute. So I'm going to put that on there. And I need to get, let's see, oh, no, this one will work. All right, and I'm going to do, let's see, I think soft suede, looks like that's what the color is for the gingerbread, but that's what I'm going to do. And so I'm just going to put this up here at the top. And then I can sign it. If you want to decorate it more than that, obviously you can do that. You can add whatever you want to. And then I'll show you for the gift card. Let me put this on here. A silicone. And I'm trying to check the comments, but if I don't catch your question or your comment while during the Facebook Live, I do always go back and read the comments, and I will respond if you leave a question. So don't worry, I will get those. Now, I just took some of our glue dots and just kind of touched my gift card and picked up a glue dot and then centered it right here. And now we can, now I want to pay attention to where my seam is. So my seam is back there, so I'm going to keep that to the back. And it doesn't matter, you can, whichever way you want to put this in, really. All right, so there's that. So now you've got this notch, makes it so you have a nice little handhold to be able to pull this out a little bit easier. Okay, and now I'm going to take my ribbon and let's see. You know, everybody has their way of doing it. I like to start with my spool on the right side. This is just the way I do it. And I try to keep my ribbon connected to the spool when I'm tying, because I do use a little bit less ribbon. And then I cross my ribbon over to the left and I'll tie my bow. Now I can tie this anywhere on here that I want to, because I can slide it around right now. This ruffle ribbon is a little bit harder. Sorry, I keep moving out of the image. Thanks, Regina. I'm glad you like it. It is super easy, and you can make a ton of these and just save those toilet paper tubes. And you know, this, you could make it a birthday. It doesn't have to be Christmas, obviously, so it could be birthday, it could be anything, and it's just a great little use. These would be easy for kids to make. There we go. And so now I'm just going to slide it up a little bit. And yay, I haven't lost my sentiment. I was a little worried about that. I'm going to take a couple dimensionals. I think really probably 2 would be enough. Now I'm going to, it's going to go like this. So I'm just going to put my dimensionals 1 on each side. Probably could do 2. It doesn't matter, whatever you want to do. Whoops. All right, there we go. And of course, I gotta have a little bit of bling on here. So I'm just gonna do our basic rhinestones, because they are really just my favorite. They're so simple. Let's see, and I've got my take your pick tool here, which is my favorite way to put rhinestones on. And then I always do 3, usually 2 on bottom, or 1 on top, or 2 on top and 1 on bottom. Now the last thing that I was going to show you that you could do with this, trim that a little bit, it's a little bit wild. There we go. Is you can make this so you could hang it on a Christmas tree. Now, if you had one of those really cute, fancy Christmas tree or Christmas ornament holders, you could certainly use one of those. But I'm just going to take a little bit of twine, and this is this may be our linen thread, and I'm just going to loop it through here. Maybe should have thought about this. Okay, And so just making a little loop on here. And then it doesn't have to be really big, because you can just then put, well, you could either use this, you can make the loop and make this the way you hang it on the Christmas tree. So if you do that, I would make it a little bit longer. If you made it a little bit shorter, you could use it to hook onto your Christmas ornament hook, if that makes sense. But depending on how wide your branches are, you may want to make it a little bit bigger. But this way you could have, and I know a lot of people who they just do gift cards for Christmas. And so now you could just hang this on your Christmas tree, just like that. Or if you had like a miniature Christmas tree, you could, just 4 gift cards, you could put those on there. So, come back here. I'm not going to tie the bow back on this one, but here was our original. And here is the one we made. So I hope you like those. Those are fun. Now at the beginning, I mentioned, I'm going to keep reminding this, so if you heard this already, just be patient, just deal with it. Just bear with me, because I'm just going to keep saying it. I have a really fun use for your Stampin' Blends markers when we're done. It's hysterical. I was in a pinch this morning, and I just really needed something, and I don't know why this little solution came to my mind, but it's awesome. So there we go. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to show you, and I forgot to bring my sample in here. Shoot, that's okay. This is an easy one. Now, I just did a Christmas craft fair, and I made a bunch of these little pencil packs. Now, I was an elementary school teacher. I'm right now, currently, a high school teacher. Who knows what I'll be in a couple weeks, but currently I'm a high school teacher. But when I taught elementary, I gave these little pencil packs to my kids for their birthday, because it didn't cost me a lot of money, and they were thrilled with it. They were so excited to get something from their teacher, right? So these would be fun to put in stockings. You could, if you've got kids, you can make a bunch of these, and these are what your kids could give as gifts to their friends. And so we need a 6x6 piece of paper. So I am just reaching back here to my paper stash and grabbing, wait a minute, I've got one that's already cut down. So let me try to not cut up all of my 12x12 paper. So I've already got some that's trimmed down to 6x12. So you can get 4 of these pencil packs out of one sheet of 12x12 paper. So I'm just cutting this to 6x6. Now, one little trick, let me show you this. If you have our Stampin' trimmer, which I highly recommend, it's fantastic, because you can stamp or you can cut and score with it. But when you use it, if you have this little arm extends out, but if you have it in place, when you push your paper up against it, this is automatically 6 inches. You don't even have to think about it. And it holds it in place on the side, and it holds it in place up at the top. And so you get perfect 6x6 pieces every time. Oh, Ginger, you're sweet. You're sweet. Oh, sometimes I'm not sure if I'm awesome or not, but I try. I try to be fun. I try to do a good job. I have an observation tomorrow, y'all, so I should really probably be working on that instead of doing this, but I really, really would rather be doing this. All right, so there's 2 ways you can do this. Let me show you the non-tool way first. How about that? And then I'll show you a way with the scoring. So this is just an origami fold that we're going to do. And so you don't have to have the trimmer or the scoring. And this would also be something fun. Your kids can make these for their friends, y'all. You don't have to do this part for them. So I folded it in half this way. I'm going to open it up, and now I'm going to fold in to the center line on this side. Now this gingham, I could have picked a design that I might have actually been able to see the line. Let me see if I can just kind of draw. I'm just going to do that so I can see it. But you just fold in to that center line. And this is called, I think it's called a chopstick fold, because it makes a little wrapper for chopsticks. And since I have that there already, I'm going to leave it so that I don't have to hunt down where I need to fold. Okay, super easy. So you fold in half, and then you fold in, and then you fold in. Okay, now you're going to fold one corner, and I'm going to just try to draw this line here so you can see. So here's this line, the first fold line that you have. You're going to fold in just to that line, and then you're going to turn over and you're going to do the opposite corner the same way. Let's see if I can find it. There it is. Okay, so you see how we've got that? And now it doesn't matter. Now it might matter if you have a directional pattern on this side of your paper. This paper doesn't matter. So whenever you're doing it, you might just want to think about that if you have directional paper. But now you're going to fold one corner in to the center line. Okay. And I am just really burnishing these edges. And so now all you have to do is fold it. So you fold this end in, and I take my bone folder, burnish really well, and then, nope, I take it back. Sorry, scratch that. You're going to fold this in, the one corner in, you're going to fold that in first. Then you're going to fold again, burnish, and then you're going to wrap this side around this way. And then you're just going to take a little bit of adhesive and then press it down, burnish it, and now you have a cute little pouch. And I'm going to take these 3 pencils and put them in here. Now you could put a staple in the bottom so that the pencils don't come out the end. Depends on how if you want it to look like that, you could, however you want to do it. And then of course you could make a tag, you could tie a little bow around it, however you want to embellish this. But these would be great for kids to make, or to make for your kids' classes. So I just thought that was fun. So that's another one. And again, this is called a chopstick fold, but super easy. Now let me show you quickly how to do it on your scoreboard, or Stampin' trimmer. That's what it is. So we're going to score at 1.5, 3 inches, and 4.5 inches. So if you have the Stampin' trimmer, it makes it super easy. Also the scoreboard. And again, so you just do the same, fold in half, just burnish on those fold lines, fold one corner in, fold the other corner in, fold one corner in to the center fold line, kind of go through, burnish your edges, and then start with this one that only has the one corner, fold over, fold over, fold over, and then just give everything a really super good crease. Add a little adhesive, and you're done. Now it also will fit a nail file. So if you have one of those larger nail files, you could also put, you want to gift somebody a bone folder, you could gift a bone folder right in there. How about that? There's lots of little things you could put in here. So there is another idea. Let me put our pencils back in here so we can look at these at the end. Okay, let's see how we're doing. I'm going to do one more little gift bag. Now this is one that I made a while ago. This also uses 6x6 paper. So I always like to show this because we do sell a lot of 6x6 paper packs, but you also can cut your 12x12 paper down to 6x6. So let me show you how to make this one. Here are the measurements, and let me grab a piece of paper. Let's see. I'm going to do some peppermint stuff. So I'm going to grab a piece of paper that has peppermints on it. All right, so we're going to get our trimmer here. And now this one is not a directional pattern, and so it doesn't matter which side is going to be my bottom. But if you had a piece of paper, for example, like this, and you wanted, like this really looks like this is the way this paper should be. So I would want this to be my bottom. So my first score line is going to be 1 inch from the bottom. So I need to turn my paper this way so that this is my 1 inch score line. That's going to be my bottom of the bag. Okay. Hope that makes sense. If not, just reach out and holler at me and ask me again, and I'll be happy to explain it. So I'm going to actually use this side. This is one thing I also love about our trimmer is that we have some measurements on this side, and I like to keep as much of the paper on my scoreboard or on my trimmer as possible. If I were to come over here, I've got all this paper kind of flapping in the wind over here, and so I really prefer to keep as much paper on here as possible. So I'm going to set that at 1 inch on that side, and I'm going to score. And then I'm going to rotate it, and then I'm going to score. And this is another weird, I'm the person that looks at magazines backwards. I think I said that last week. I score from the biggest one down to the smallest. So I'm going to start at 5.5. It's just the way I do things. I don't know. 5.5 to 3 3/4. And then 2 3/4. Now this, with our designer series paper, you don't want to press down super hard when you're scoring, or else you will tear the paper. Now I could turn this paper around because I just said I like to do that, but just to be sure that I don't turn it the wrong way, I'm just going to go ahead and do that. So I've got my score lines. You can't see them because this paper is so busy, but I promise they're there. So now I'm going to take my bone folder, and I'm going to fold on all of those score lines and burnish. So we've got a nice crisp edge. Okay. Now if you make enough of these bags, you will start to see how these go together, how easily they go together. When you fold this bag over, if you fold it, this is the piece that attaches it. And if you've done it right, when you fold it in half, it's gonna, after you've put that little tab in, it's gonna lay flat, and it's awesome. Now one thing there's a little square down here that we don't need. I don't think I did the bottom edge. Hang on. Hold please. There we go. Now there's a little rectangle, and you can't really see it, but let me take a marker here and kind of show you, because I'm going to cut this away anyway. But there's this little rectangle that's right here. Okay, and we don't need that little rectangle. We're going to keep everything else. And so we're just going to trim this away. Okay. And then we're going to come in and just cut on these score lines just up to this bottom fold, because this is what makes the bottom of your bag. Now I also like to come in and just kind of angle that edge right there, and then I fold my bigger flaps in and I leave my smaller flaps out, and then I just come in and just angle these just a little bit, and it just takes a little bit of bulk out when you're putting these together. Okay, and that's all you have to do. Now I'm going to get that out, get my silicone mat back in here. I'm going to take some tear tape. Now when I am doing gift kind of things, I do like to use tear tape just because it's really sturdy, and I can put it down, and it has this backing on it, so if I do something, if I walk away, it's not, something's not going to get stuck on it. And you can just tear it, and that's it. Hence the tear tape, right? Okay, So again, I just burnish, and this gets the air bubbles out of the adhesive. And you want to put it up against this edge. It doesn't matter if it's not on this edge, that's okay. You want it up against this edge because that's the edge of your bag, and you want that to have a good seal on it. Now, for me, the best way to get this paper off is with take your pick tool, the pointy end, and you just slide it under there, and it comes right up. Now, I showed you just a minute ago how if you've done it right and you fold it flat, it should just lay perfectly together. And so you can see that's our little bag. Now, after I do that, again, we burnish to get the air bubbles out. All right, has anybody come up with a guess for the soft suede, by the way? Because I'm really curious if y'all are going to be able to guess this or not. Okay, now, the other thing you can do, and I put this together so well, I don't know where my seam is. How about that? Okay, there's the seam. So this is going to, I always have the seam pointing to the back of the bag, which means I'm going to fold my sides in and fold the back piece down first, and then so that my seam again is pointing to the back, so all my seams are going the same direction. So I just need to put some tear tape on this little flap right there. So I hope that makes sense. And I'll put 2 pieces on here probably. I'm not putting anything really heavy in this, so it may not need it, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. All right, and so now you just kind of make sure you get everything squared up, and then press this flap down. And then I usually just take my bone folder and go in here and really press that down because you don't want the bottom to fall out. So here we go. Now you can just pinch your sides in together. So you see how that goes. There's lots of different ways you can close these up. You can punch a hole in here and tie a ribbon. I may do that, I think I've got a hole punch around here somewhere. We don't sell one, but you can grab any hole punch that you have. Let's see. Whoop, that's a tiny one. Okay, I have my old crocodile here, so I'm just going to come in here and punch. There we go. And I'm going to bring my, okay, so I've been getting ready for all kinds of Christmas treats to give. So I've got some of these Walker shortbread cookies. I think next week what we might do is I might teach you just how, like if you have something you want to make a package for and you don't have a package, how you can make a package specifically for something. These Lindor truffles are amazing. And so you could fit a couple of these in here. Probably just 2 would fit in there. The mini Ghirardelli squares would fit in here. Now, not the regular Ghirardelli squares, but the miniature ones. Hershey's Nuggets are always a hit. They would fit in here. But since this is peppermint paper, I'm putting in the candy cane Hershey's Kisses because they are my favorite. Hint, hint. If anybody needs to know, I love peppermint anything and the Hershey's Candy Cane Kisses. All right, so there we go. I'm going to take a little piece of this ribbon and now you're like, that's probably not going to do that. That's not going to be enough, but I promise I'm going to show you one way that you can secure this. It's just a little different way that I like to use sometimes. So we've got it like this. And then just a little bit of twine. I always cut, when I'm doing this, I always cut a little bit more than I need because that way you have more to work with. And then you can just tie this around. Having extra hands is always good, but I don't. Okay, there we go. Whoops, now what did it... Swing and a miss. Okay, there we go. Got it this time. Yay. So we do that. You can slide it down so it's a little bit tighter. And then just tie a little bow. So this is why you would want to cut it a little bit longer than you would need, oy vey, tying this, oops, sorry. I just looked up, I saw that I was out of the screen. Sorry. So I just tied this twine around the ribbon. And then I always just sit there and monkey with my twine until I get it to the length that I want. So there is that. Now here is this one. And this one, I just tied the ribbon around it. And this, I've opened and closed it quite a bit, so it's not quite as tight. But this one, just to show you what also will fit in this bag, is one of these little hand lotions. So we've got candy. We've got our candy in here, but one of these little tubes of hand lotion. You can get these at the Dollar Tree. They're also in the travel section at Walmart. And so that would fit in here as well. Now, there we go. And now we could, again, stamp a little tag for it. And let's see, we get a scrap of paper here. And now we can send peppermint kisses. And let's see. I think that will work. So I'm going to do that again. Stamp with my real red. My ink pad is not cooperating today. Get my foam. Let's see, we're gonna do this way. Wanda, you are a winner. Good job. That is exactly what I did this morning. Holy cow. It's so funny. And I'm just telling you what, dark soft suede is my color. It was so funny. I have been needing to have my hair colored for a little while, and I have just not had the time to do it. And I wanted to pull, my hair was driving me crazy, so I wanted to pull my bangs out of the way. And I couldn't stand it because I have, like, you know, I don't know, about a ½ an inch of growth on my, and y'all, my hair is white, okay? I am completely white-headed. So there's just, you know, there's no getting around the white hair. And yep, so that's what I did. So the next time you need to touch up your hair, Stampin' Blends markers will do the trick. All right, let's bring our little thing. Now, it's a little bit bigger than the box, but that's okay. We could also punch a hole. I may do that and just let it kind of dangle here. Where'd my crocodile go? Here we go. So grab this. I've got a, yeah. Mercy, I haven't used this thing in forever. Who's got a crocodile laying around? I haven't used this in eons. And I'm just going to take some more twine and just kind of run it underneath my ribbon. Okay, so Wanda, I'm just curious. Have you been in that spot where you've needed to do that, and that's how you know? Goodness gracious. All right, and I'm just going to loosely tie it. There we go. And, of course, rhinestones. And so I use the little putty end. Oops, missed it. That's the good thing about this, is if you miss it, if it flips over, then you can grab it from the other side and do it. Hey, so I am a retired cosmetologist also. I mean, I only did it for a little while. I was a cosmetologist for about, I don't know, 3 or 4 years. I can't remember how long. I still do hair on the side, but I'm a teacher now, so I like it much better than being a cosmetologist. But yeah, so I color my own hair, and so there's really no excuse except that I'm just busy and I just don't have time. Now I just put a dimensional on here so that I could keep that little tag in place. So there is our peppermint kisses. I love that. And let me bring back our pencil pack. I need to kind of come out a little bit, I think. So my desk is a hot mess, y'all. I was watching somebody do a project and they're like, oh, let me get my desk tidy. And I'm like, yeah, you do that. I'm not going to. Here is our little gift card holder. Here is our original gift card holder. So not only are we using toilet paper tubes to make a gift card, we are also using Stampin' Blend markers to color our hair. So, and I've been meaning every day, I'm like, I need to go buy that root touch-up stuff that I see people using, and I keep forgetting to, and I'm like, well, you know what? I just got to come up with something. And I don't know what made me think of it, but it was inspired, and I love it. So, there we go. Those are the projects that we did tonight. So I hope this gives you some great ideas for Christmas and getting you ready. Again, all of these can be converted into something for birthday. I actually, like I said, I use birthday paper for my kids at school and make these their little birthday presents. And I have a little tag on there that says happy birthday. Now with my high school kids, I don't know what I'm going to do. Haven't figured that one out yet. But I love the papers we've got. This is the gingerbread paper. This is the watercolor Christmas. I don't think that's what that may not be what it's called. But this is also from the gingerbread paper. And this is the Heartwarming Hugs paper. And all of these used 6x6 DSP. So if you don't have 12x12 paper, you can still make some really cute stuff with it. So grab it, start using it, cut up that paper, use it, and let me know if you have any questions. I will put measurements up for you so that you can recreate these. Again, the toilet paper tube gift card holders, you, yes, Crystal, that hair tip is a bonus. These don't really have measurements because the toilet paper tubes are all a little bit different. So bookmark this video if you need to remember how to do that. And if you haven't yet gone over to YouTube and found my YouTube channel, please do that and subscribe. I'm trying to get my videos from Facebook Live put up there and a few other videos that I've done. And so I would love it if you would go over there and subscribe and help me grow that channel as well. There's a host code if you'd like to place an order. Place that order with the host code and I would appreciate it. And I will send you a little surprise in the mail. And don't forget about our joining special right now. If you'd like to join Stampin' Up! And get your Stampin' supplies, support your habit, that's what I always say, for a 20% discount. And you don't have to sell anything. You can just buy your own stuff. That's what I did for a very, very long time. I'm going on 17, 18 years now with Stampin' Up! And that's what I did for a very long time. So you get a 20% discount on all your purchases. And you also get to join us in some really fun Stampin' events. Our team is going to Sevierville next weekend for a Stampin' retreat. And we're also going to be participating in a worldwide Stampin' Up! Convention while we're there. So we're get to interact with demonstrators from all over the world. So that's going to be really fun. So I would love to have you join Smoky Mountain Stampers and get in on our fun activities. We also have Chicks and Chocolate coming up in November, and I will put the sign up for that and the event. I'll get that going. And it's the week before Thanksgiving. I can't remember the exact date, but I think it's the 18th maybe or 16th. I can't remember. But it's going to be the week before Thanksgiving. Typically, it would have been that week, but obviously, since it's Thanksgiving, we don't want to do that. So it'll be a week earlier, so you need to get signed up and let me know you're coming. So I appreciate you guys watching and sticking it out to the end, and I hope you guys have a good evening, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.